Currently, I'm in half term, meaning that I have 1 week of school, and in this 1 week, I wanted to lock in and make some insane progress in my business, in my physique, and just overall goals. But I know what I need to do to get this, yet I don't really want to do it. And every single day I would wake up, and this is frustrating because I would wake up every single day almost visualizing myself coming back to school with this more confident, with a better physique, almost like a different person. I would visualize this throughout the day, but then I would go to bed realizing that I've basically done nothing this entire day. But one day while I'm going to the bus, it just hits me. I realized that it's been 3 full days where I haven't had to go to school. I've had a full day to do everything, go to the gym, do my work. Yeah, I've basically accomplished maybe 30 minutes worth of progress, but I only have 6 more days till I have to go to school again. So I remember I went to bed that night so excited for tomorrow to actually like lock in and just do so much work, because I realized I haven't really done anything and I need to actually lock in. So the next day I literally woke up and immediately just got onto my computer and I opened up a game launcher. I didn't open up Notion to do scripting or to record some videos. I started playing video games. And then imagine this, I stopped playing, I went to the gym for a bit, I ate some food, I watched pretty much some YouTube videos. And then after that I decided, okay, I'm gonna do a little bit of work. But first let me play a little bit more video games. So this was like now in the afternoon. So I kept playing, I loaded up into a game and then another one and then another one. I lost some, I won some. And by now it was 10 p.m. And obviously by playing the same game over and over and over again, I was starting to get bored. So instead of going to bed, since I was literally yawning, I decided to just switch up the game, play a different game. And I kept playing and playing and playing, even though I was like tired and my eyes were literally half closed and I was literally yawning like every single minute. I kept playing until it was like 1 a.m. And then finally I took a shower and I literally just went to bed and I just fell asleep immediately because of how tired I was. And I woke up the next day, instead of doing this routine thing of waking up playing video games, I did just one new thing. And immediately I sat down, I opened up my computer and I actually started scripting a video. And in that one morning I was able to script a whole video in just like at the beginning of the day, which made me feel so accomplished that day. It's just amazing that I carried out almost that momentum throughout the day. Then I went to the gym and just did more productive stuff. And I felt so stupid for not using this trick before, because I remember when I used to be like super disciplined, maybe like a few months ago when I was like when I had like buzzed hair and everything, I used to be like super disciplined. Every single day I would wake up at 6 a.m, take a cold shower, script some videos, record some videos, edit the videos, probably even before school started, every single day. And I remember I used to do this one tactic that I literally used to abuse every single day. Because I remember this one day, like usual, I woke up at 6 a.m, I took a cold shower, got myself dressed, and then I started trying to script some videos. But I didn't really want to like do the work. I was just kind of like, just didn't really feel like it. So I went onto YouTube just like to try and like get my mind off work, just trying to really procrastinate. And I saw this one video, and this one video caught my eye, clicked on it, and it just gave me an insane insight. It was titled something like how to make yourself crave to do work, something like that. And so I clicked on it because it was like almost a video that I needed. It almost felt like it was placed there just for me. But anyway, I clicked on it and it gave me this insane realization, this thing that literally said, why don't you just tell your brain that you're only gonna work for 10 minutes? You're gonna think to yourself, oh, at least I'm gonna get some progress done. It's better than doing like 0 minutes. 10 minutes is better than doing 0 minutes of work. So I told myself, oh yeah, I'm gonna do 10 minutes of work. At least I'm gonna make a little bit of progress on my script, which is better than making none and just kind of procrastinating and not really doing anything. And so with this new mindset, I started scripting a video, and I started scripting and scripting. I started getting ideas and more ideas, and I started scripting more and scripting more. And before I knew it, an hour went by and it was time for me to go to school. But I managed to script a whole video before it was even time for me to go to school. And I remember that one day, I had such a massive confidence boost at school, because I almost felt like I actually did something, I accomplished something before even school started, because I actually had a reason to be confident instead of just kind of faking it till you make it like most people can't tell you. To be honest, something that I realized that I just came to my mind that I really want to share with you is that most people just try to sell you these quick, easy tricks on like how to instantly become more confident, tell you to fake it till you make it. I don't even know, I haven't really watched many confident videos because I'm just naturally confident. And the reason I can actually say that, and the reason I am, is because actually the way I found to be confident is just like have a reason to be confident, and you need to have this self-image that you're confident. I know this is a little side tangent, but it's going to benefit you. To be confident, just think to yourself, you are confident. If you believe you're confident, you're just going to act more confident. And obviously you can't just tell your mind, oh, I'm confident, and expect your mind to believe. You have to give yourself reasons why. For example, if you obsess over yourself, like, oh, I remember that one day I was like in the church and I messed up my line, or I remember I was in that play and I messed up my line. If you like obsess over like negative stuff, then you're just going to basically output negative stuff, almost feeding into a loop. But if you visualize positive stuff, you think, oh, I remember that one time I spoke to that girl and I was like being really funny, and I wasn't really thinking, I wasn't really overthinking, I was just being funny, being social, being charismatic. I remember that one time I was like being a leader with my friends and I was just social as hell. then when you put that into your mind, you're just gonna output more of that. And also, you just have to give yourself a reason. For example, I can say that I'm confident because I'm recording this video, even though I kind of didn't really want to. I'm not gonna lie to you, I was just working out a few minutes ago, and that's another reason I can say I'm confident. Sometimes you kind of just forget the things you do. For example, you probably go to the gym, you probably try to start a business. You can tell yourself like, oh, I'm actually being better than most people. That's basically the main thing. You're being better than most people. Think about the fact, like, most people aren't starting a business, most people aren't disciplined in the gym, most people don't really follow a diet, most people don't read books like me and you do. And this is just kind of step to being more confident. I'm gonna actually make this into a video, how to be more confident. But anyway, going back to the main point, the reason this tactic of like the thing that I kind of coined, the 10-minute rule, or maybe somebody else said it, but let's go with it anyway, the 10-minute rule, the reason it works so well is because think about it like this. Imagine I gave you this choice. Would you rather sit and do something boring, like boring, for 3 hours or just 10 minutes? Now, obviously, unless you're flipping weird, you're probably going to pick the 10 minutes. You'd rather be bored for 10 minutes rather than a whole 3 hours. But for some reason, because our brains haven't really evolved as fast as society has, your brain only really sees work as boring. And when you tell your brain you're really going to do this boring thing for 10 minutes instead of 3 hours, it not only activates the contrast principle, but it also makes your brain think like, oh, 10 minutes, I also get to do some progress. It almost becomes more easy for you to actually do and get into the actual starting to do something. Because you probably experience this. For some reason, starting to like do some work or really go to the gym or just do anything difficult, for some reason starting it is way more difficult than just maintaining it or just keep going with it. Because just imagine this, or remember a time where you were like trying to do something hard and you were like really procrastinating, and then when you thought, okay, I'm gonna do a little bit of it, I'm just gonna like get my shoes on to go to the gym, you realize, oh, it's not that bad. I'm just gonna walk to the gym. That's pretty nice. Well, after walk to the gym, I warm up, and when you warm up and you do your first set, you feel like that wasn't even that bad. Why was I procrastinating all this the whole day? And you just feel amazing, and then you realize like, you could have done this so much earlier. Something that I found out that no one really talks about is that most people think that you need to be motivated to take action, but in reality, it's not just like a straight line where motivation equals action. It's almost like just a circle. Let me actually visualize. Let me make you visualize this. It almost looks like this. Motivation can cause action. So for example, let's say you just watch like some motivational video, you're probably more likely to take action because you're actually motivated. But when you take action, you also get motivated. It's just like the 10-minute rule. When you actually start doing something, you realize that, oh, you start getting ideas and you start actually liking it. So therefore you start taking more action. And it wasn't just like, and you start getting motivated. It's not that you were motivated to take action. You had a little bit of discipline to therefore take action, to therefore get motivated. Think of all of this like riding a bike. Most people think you need a push, which is like motivation. You need a push to ride a bike. But in reality, all you need to do is just pedal on the bike, take a little bit of action. And once you start building momentum, everything just becomes way easier, because starting to move a bike is way harder than just going a little bit faster while you're already going a little bit of speed with a bike. But the 10-minute rule wasn't the only mindset or like tactic that I used back then when I used to be super disciplined every single day, wake up 6 a.m, cold shower, script some videos. That wasn't the only tactic. I remember this other tactic, which was almost like a mindset that I remember I would literally wake up and not really want to do the work, like not really feel that good. But then I would literally turn my head a little bit to the left, and you can probably see it right there. This is the exact quote. I don't know if you can really read it, but I remember I would turn my head, see that, and then I would immediately want to actually just start to do the work. It almost motivated me to actually start doing the work. And the quote goes like this: I get happier the harder it is because it means nobody else will follow. And it goes from oh poor me to oh poor everyone else who's going to have to try. Let me break down what that quote actually means in this little analogy that I'm about to tell you. Almost see it like this. Imagine you're in a race and you look to your left and you see a lot of other people wanting to join this race like with you. So you're just standing here, you look to your right, you look to your left, and you see loads of guys, loads of people just wanting to like race to reach a finish line. And let's imagine the finish line is like your goals, like your dream goals of health, wealth, and your relationships and everything, like the girl you want, the money you want, the health you want, the physique you want. And obviously this rewards come a little bit of cost. And the cost is, imagine you need to cross this race. And in this race, there's a lot like obstacles, lots of things you have to climb over, move like over. Like, let's just imagine that you have to like literally visualize this. Imagine you have to like climb some walls, crawl over this, like almost walk through whatever. Just, I don't know, imagine like a Ninja Warrior obstacle course or something like that. Now visualize, you start doing this race, and imagine you just cross this like really difficult area, and you're doing it, and you keep like failing at it, but then you finally cross it. Think about the fact that if people want to get to the stage you're on, let's say you're just on level 6 and now you go to level 7, you can just think about the fact that if they wanted to get to the stage you are at, they have to go through that difficult, super difficult thing you just went through So therefore, it doesn't go from, oh, poor me, that, oh, I have to do all these obstacles to get the goals that I want. It goes to, oh, poor everyone else who's gonna have to try to do what I did to get to where I am today. And they almost change his mind from making you the victim of like, oh, it's so horrible for me to reach our goals, there's so much pain and whatever, to almost making it a game. And when you make this a game, it becomes 10 times more easier. Every single day you think to yourself, oh, let's see how further away I can get from my competition. I almost see it like that, and it just becomes a game, and it becomes way more fun to just do the hard work instead of seeing it like as something painful. It's almost like a game, something fun that I get to do. Not only that I have to, but I get to. Now that I just told you the 2 tactics that, now that I think about it, I probably really shouldn't be sharing on YouTube, because these are really powerful tactics that took me basically a year to build and quote unquote master, and just basically I just summarized basically a whole years of learning into this video. And I don't really know if I should share this, but I guess it's just whatever, I'm just gonna share anyway to you, because I feel like you're probably gonna find a really good value in this. But getting back to the point, you can have like these 2 really amazing tactics to like become more motivated and just these new mindsets and everything. But without the correct mindset in achieving your goals, you're not really gonna achieve them. And this was the last final lesson that I was just watching an Alex Hormozi like podcast of one of his most recent videos. And what he said was that basically to get where you want to be, you just want to take 100% responsibility of where you are in life, no matter what, basically. Because I realized you can blame whatever, you can blame the world, you can blame the luck, you can blame the algorithm, you can blame anything, but that's not really going to help you. When you actually blame yourself, you start looking inwards and thinking, oh, how can I solve this problem? Because I remember a while ago when I was like doing YouTube and I wasn't really doing that good, I thought to myself, oh, it's the algorithm just doesn't like me. I'm making good videos. I really thought that I was making good videos. But in reality, now that I look back, they weren't really that good. And there's so many things that I could point out to make way better. Like, for example, the lighting, the script, the way I spoke. Like, there was so many little tiny things, even just big things that I could have improved on. And then I thought it was like the algorithm or whatever. But then when I actually took it, I was like thinking, oh wait, I used to get really good views. Maybe it's not the algorithm. Maybe it's actually something that I can actually control. And when I started seeing it that way, like blaming myself instead of the algorithm, I started actually finding solutions. And therefore I started improving the quality of my videos, the lighting, because it's way better than some of the old, like just even a few months ago, the lighting was really bad. Now I actually improved it from like this backlight, this light over there. I don't know, you can't really see it anyway. And the exact word that Alex Hormozi said was that if you want to feel good, blame others. If you want to get good, blame yourself. Which is just such an amazing quote that I should probably stick up on my wall now that I think about it. I'm actually going to do that right now. Okay, so I stuck it up right there. It's not very clear. I'm gonna overline it with a Sharpie. You know, I'm just gonna do that right now anyway. Alright, that's done. You can see it's way better now. You can see motivation, action. It's not really that clear, but I'll probably, yeah, whatever. Anyway, getting back to the point is that there will be times where you want to blame the world or blame everything else except for yourself. And I do this sometimes. Like, even, you might not even notice it. You might not even consciously notice it that you're blaming it. But just keep this in mind. The next time you're like really facing a problem, always think about like, what can you do instead of what is the world? Like, what are you suffering on? So just stop focusing on that. Focus on what you can actually change. This is something that really helped me. And just really improving my video quality, improving my overall just business in general. And just life, actually, not even just business. Physique-wise, it's not my genetics, my brother has an amazing physique. It's just a fact that I don't really train to failure. It's my fault that I have a bad physique, it's not my genetics. And all of this almost ties back to why you've probably heard people say, like, how you can manifest stuff and, like, almost change your reality based on what you believe, and you can visualize a reality and it becoming becoming real life. I know it sounds like woo-woo hippie stuff, but whatever, but it's actually really true. Think about it this way. Imagine right now there's this girl that you want to speak to. Let's just imagine you're a little bit nervous, you're a little bit shy, you don't really want to speak to her, your palms are getting sweaty. Just imagine this, really visualize it. When you go up to her and like muster up the courage somehow to actually speak to her, you're gonna come up in this like beta way, and a silly word, but beta, shy, just timid way. And she's probably not gonna like you if you express yourself that way. Now imagine if you think to yourself, oh, this girl actually likes me, and you almost visualize yourself like not only the past conversations that you've had with girls that have gone well, but you almost visualize the interaction going well. You see her smile, you see her just like, you just have a good time with her, and you almost visualize, you don't obsess over the exact words, you just almost visualize the smile and you saying something and her just smiling back at you. Now, when you come in with that like abundance and confidence, like, oh, I get other girls, she's just some girl that I can speak to. It's a girl that I've spoken to before, and I'm confident with speaking to her, and I've spoken to her before, and she already likes me. When you come in with that mindset, then you're going to display this more confident, charismatic, this social, more happy version of you. And obviously that's probably going to be way more likely the person that she likes rather than this timid, shy person that you're going to be displaying. Think about the fact that you can literally change your reality based on what you believe. In one time you come in like shy and timid, and therefore that becomes your reality. She doesn't like you. And this other one, you become more confident, more just alpha, silly words, but get the point across. She's gonna be more likely to like you. Think about that's crazy. You change your whole reality based on what you believe. The last point that I want to tell you is that I'm not just gonna leave you here with all this knowledge and just hopefully hope that you take action on it and just like kind of leave you like most YouTubers do. Most YouTubers just kind of give you the knowledge and don't really be bothered to give you like a step-to-step guide or some like revision. I don't know how you really explain this. Let me actually read this. Figure everything out. Yeah, basically like letting you figure out everything on your own instead of like me helping you, which I know the knowledge. I should be helping you instead of just kind of leaving you to figure everything out on your own. Like basically 99% of YouTubers do because they're too lazy. So let's take some action together, and let me give you some like tactics so you can remember this better and actually integrate it into your life instead of just watching this and not really taking action on it. So the first lesson we learned was the 10-minute rule, and an easy way you can literally take action on this is right now is just let's pick up a book together. So I'm gonna pick up a book, you go get a book. It can be any book, ideally like non-fiction so you can like learn something, but just any book, even if it's like fiction or whatever. So I'm gonna get a book right now. Psycho-Cybernetics. This is a book about visualizations. So let's imagine you want to read a chapter, because you know a chapter is really going to benefit your life. You're going to learn a lot. You're probably going to learn how to visualize and therefore create, manifest a better reality, a better life. So you know you have to like read a few chapters to actually learn that. But obviously to read a few chapters you have to like sit down, read some words. It's going to be pretty boring. You could be watching some like Mr. Beast video or whatever, but you start reading Psycho-Cybernetics. But instead of thinking to yourself, oh, I need to read a whole book or a whole chapter, you just think to yourself, I'm only going to read like one sentence. I'm only going to read one page. So you open the book and one page doesn't seem like that much. Look. Wait, hold on. One page is not that much. Or just even this. Imagine you told yourself you're only going to read this. You're going to think, oh, that's not even that much. I'm just going to read it. At least I'm going to learn something. It's better than not reading at all. Reading something is better than reading nothing. So you start reading it. Let me see. For example, here it says, if we constantly dwell on error, our conscience feel guilty about the error and keep berating ourselves because of it, then unwittingly the error of failure itself becomes the goal that it's I can't read becomes the goal that is consciously held imaginary and memory. So basically what it's saying is that if you obsess over failure, that really becomes your goal for your mind. It starts wanting to achieve failure instead of when you obsess over success, you set success as the goal, and therefore your mind tries to get to the goal. Think about that. I read a little bit and I actually feel more like motivated to actually start reading the book, because I almost like learned something. I'm like, oh, I want to read more, I want to learn more. Just imagine that. That's, for example, just for reading. And with work, it's a little bit different. For example, when you start reading it, you start getting like ideas and connections, and you start getting more like interested in the book. When you start doing some work, you start like scripting a little bit of a video, and then realize, oh, this idea, I can link this to this, and then after I can do this, and also I can do this with this. Like you start getting so many ideas, and therefore you start like actually getting motivated from the action that you took. Remember that little cycle: motivation, action, action, motivation. It goes the same way around. So that's the first one that we just took action on, the 10-minute rule. Almost imagine yourself just taking action with your business, with your gym workout. I remember I used to do this with my gym workout. I would be like watching some videos, not really kind of procrastinating on the gym, and then I would just think to myself, you know what, I'm just gonna put on my shoes, I'm just gonna walk to the gym, it's not even that bad of a walk. It's better for me to just walk to the gym at least and just do some sort of exercise. So I would do that, and I would get to the gym, I'll do my warm-up, and when I do my first set, I realized, oh, this isn't too bad, and I like the pump, and I like kind of pushing myself to failure with this amazing music in my ears. And I just started doing my whole workout from then. And next up, imagine you're reading this book and you like read the 5th page and you start getting a little bit bored. You kind of just want to put the book down and watch some Mr. Beast video or whatever. But then you think to yourself, most people will quit here and go watch some entertainment video, but I'm going to actually continue. And imagine, just almost see yourself like applying that mindset of I get happier the harder it is because nobody else will follow. There's going to be like many instances of other people having to overcome this metaphorical obstacle where you have to overcome this like temptation of you going to watch something more entertaining. You just keep reading, and therefore you just eventually forget about it. You just get more interested in the book, and you keep reading and get ideas, and you keep making connections. And let's say you manage to read like a whole 2 chapters because of it. Most people would have quit and would have missed out on like a chapter and a half of knowledge, but you just kept reading and you got better than them. You overcame the obstacle, and if they want to get to the same stage that you were, they're gonna have to go through the same pain. So you almost made that progress, and you're pushing yourself away from your competition. Now the last lesson was that to take actual responsibility for everything that really happens in your life, And let's just imagine right now you were reading Atomic Habits. Let's say you were reading Atomic Habits and you learn to quit a habit. You need to make the habit difficult to actually do. For example, imagine you have like a box of chocolate like right in front of you 24/7. Obviously it's going to be pretty easy for you to just grab one, take one and eat it. Even though it's not very good and you know it's not good, it's just easy for you and you're going to think like, oh, a little bit of pleasure, so you do it. But now imagine if you want to get any sort of chocolate, you have to like run a mile. Now that's going to be way more difficult than you just literally reaching out, getting one. You're going to have to run a mile. Your brain is not really going to want to do that. So therefore it's going to be a way more difficult habit. So you think to yourself, how can I apply this to my life? And you think to yourself, maybe I could just put my phone in another room while I'm working so I don't get distracted from my phone. I just focus on my work, and whenever I want to grab my phone, I think, oh, my phone isn't there, I have to go to the other room. Nah, I can't be out, so I'm just going to keep doing my work. And you improve your productivity from there. Think about the fact that you're taking responsibility of your own actions. You're not like blaming your phone, blaming the world. You're blaming yourself. You think like, how can I improve this? Oh, I just learned this. So not only are you learning and actually applying, which is basically what intelligence means. Intelligence is just the ability to change your action based on what you just learned. But you can actually prove to yourself that you can actually take action on your own problems, blame yourself, and therefore find solutions on your own problems instead of blaming everybody else. And as I'm really looking back at the script and just talking to ChatGPT on like how can I improve this script a little bit at the end, I'm just thinking to myself, it's really crazy these like tactics I'm really giving to you, and I'm really considering if I should really post this video because of how good these tactics are. Because I used to abuse this to like take so much action and make so much progress back in the day, like a few years ago when I was like really productive. And I really want to get into that identity again, which I'm doing right now. These tactics have really been really helpful. And almost think about it this way: every single action you take, it's almost like a vote for the person you want to become. And even if you start small, you make this little improvement by applying these like new tactics. Let's say instead of you working for 3 hours today, you work for like an extra like 30 minutes or even 4 hours. That's going to compound. 30 minutes today, 30 minutes tomorrow, 15 minutes the next day, 1 hour the next day. Let's just imagine in the span of 1 week, you work 7 hours extra. Imagine that, like you work on your business, that's what I mean. Imagine you do that for 1 week, a month, a year. That's going to compound like more than 100 hours. And that's going to bring you amazing results. Even if you start small, you stay consistent, and you just watch your life change. And these tactics have been really helpful for me to accomplish that. And they're really going to change your life and help your life just like it has for me.